I want to look at the pregame interview because I was going to make a video about this pregame interview because now we're not going to look at it long. I don't want to look at it long. I want to look at it long enough to get to the Caitlin Clark stuff, which is in the very, very beginning. So the Caitlin Clark stuff is in the very beginning. Now this right here don't sit well with me. Let me move some stuff out of my ways. Now, guys, excuse my language. I have not seen all of this. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I wanted to react to this on the live tonight because I think Stephanie White is full of shit. I really do. I really think she's just full of shit. I'm sorry. It's going to be one of them ones. So let's dive into it. Let's watch some of this and let's see.
Thing is just trying to keep her in good spirits. Had a lot of setbacks with all these little injuries, and we just have to take it one day at a time. It's frustrating for her.
Now I'm gonna stop her ass right there. Stephanie. Now you instantly said opens up the damn interview with we gotta take it one day at a time. Ain't that the same damn thing you said last time? And Caitlin Clark was out 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, Stephanie. That was the same thing you said last time, Stephanie. And you're part of the blame with the injury. Yes, Stephanie White is part of the blame, bro. Because you, Stephanie White, decided to take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand and put her in this damn motion offense. You helped the team kick Caitlin Clark's ass. I just got to be honest. You have been helping the opposing teams beat up on Caitlin, bro. It's just that simple. Now let's finish. Look,
I'm sure, especially, and I think for us as a staff and as a team, just trying to keep her encouraged and trying to keep her to stay the course.
Hey, Steph,
What's up, Doug?
Can you give any specifics of did she have imaging today? Was it just see how she's feeling? And I know you have a game tonight first, but is there any discussion yet about this weekend with her? Because obviously she's a huge part of All-Star.
No discussion yet about this weekend. There was imaging done. And obviously ruling her out for tonight. But there hasn't been any discussion beyond tonight.
She lying. Look at her face. She's bold-faced lying. Stephanie, why you lying? You lying. Somebody said I saw some speculation earlier suggesting that they're saying day-to-day keep the sick. Who said that? Bro, I said this. Now, y'all know your boy John Liquidator, and this is going to be my first time saying this. I was supposed to be going to Indiana. Supposed to be flying out tomorrow. Guys, to go to Indiana. I was supposed to be in Indiana tomorrow, bro. 24 hours, I'm supposed to be there. I'm about 80% possibly not going, bro. Because of this BS. I'm about 80% not going, bro. I'm supposed to be catching my flight tomorrow to Indy. They're trying to downplay Caitlin Clark injury to save them $500 nosebleed ass ticket prices. But y'all care about the fans. But you care about the fans, though. Let's finish this.
And Steph, just obviously to that point, when it's a re-injury, when you're trying to figure this stuff out within the context of the goals you guys have set over the long term, does the timetable change? Or maybe you're having a conversation with doctors, but there's also a sort of a larger understanding of having this happen a second time, a third time, that we have to think about this in terms of September, October, as much as anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've approached it that way from a slow pace from the beginning. This might just be my ignorance, but I'm not really sure that it's a re-injury as much as a different kind of injury. I know oftentimes when you're working with with injuries in the groin and the quad and the hamstring and all of those things. There's just, they're all kind of tied together, and it's not always just one thing. So I think, yes, absolutely. The big picture is the most important. For her health and wellness long term, and for our team, and to, we've been very slow in making sure that every time she comes back that she's ready. So we'll continue to approach it like that. I mean, long term is the most important.
And just in terms of on the court impact, we talked to Sandy a little bit about, the things that you guys have learned with Caitlin out, and, watched a lot of film. Unfortunately, a lot of film they're able to see. What have you been able to see and learn about the Liberty playing without John Paul Jones, which is something they've had to do a lot of as well?
Yeah, I think there's just a different emphasis in how they play. The ball moves around the perimeter a little bit more. They have more versatility. So the actions that they run are a little bit different. They have a little bit more versatility on the defensive end of the floor. I always thought they were already a versatile team, on both ends. But, playing small ball at times has its advantages. And I think that they've been able to find ways to continue to not just be dangerous, but really lethal, in these small lineups, the way that they're able to spread the floor, the way they're able to create driving lanes and driving kicks for threes. And you see them a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more disruptive in their switches on the defensive end.
Hey, Steph, Annie Costable, Front Office Sports. I know you said you haven't had a discussion about this weekend, but we obviously know, just based on what she said, how excited she was for this weekend. So what's the balance, or what's the emphasis on long-term health over excitement over this weekend? What conversations have you had regarding that?
We haven't had any yet, honestly.
She lied, bro. You lied again, Stephanie. Look at her face, bro. I'm not a body language expert, not at all. But bro, you can see the lie. She can't even look at the damn reporter when she's answering his questions. Stephanie, you're horrible for this. Horrible.
The most important thing for me was just making sure that she was okay. Anybody who's been injured, as most of us have, right? It's being injured and continuing to have setbacks is frustrating, mentally, emotionally. Oftentimes being injured is isolating. So, from my standpoint, the primary conversations that we've had last night and today are just checking in. Are you good? How can we help? We're going to continue to stay the course. We've got you. We're supporting you. Caitlin and her team will make decisions when it comes to All-Star. And for me,
so she passing the buck. She passing the buck. Caitlin and her team. Y'all said Caitlin and her team. That's what she's trying to say. She's trying to pass the buck. Damn shame, bro. Damn shame. She's trying to pass the buck, bro.
It's a big deal for us to have All-Star in Indianapolis. And of course, with Caitlin being a focal point of all of that. As the coach of the Indiana Fever, it's not a bigger deal than our long-term season. But it's also part of the fun. So, those are conversations that Caitlin will have with her group. I probably won't be a part of those, but we're going to support her no matter what.
And then just quickly, listed as questionable earlier today. What changed regarding going from questionable to
just the imaging that she was able to get this afternoon?
So she did take an MRI.
Hi, Barbara Barker.
So basically, Stephanie White is confirming that Caitlin Clark did have an MRI done today. That's how you know she's lying. She knows she's hurt.
Newsday. I just wanted to ask you, you went over very well, just how frustrating, and anyone who saw, the game last night was heartbreaking in a way. How much is the physicality that she has to face on a nightly basis? This is not a direct result of that, but having to face that all the time.
Must mind you, Stephanie White is kind of responsible for why Caitlin Clark is enduring so much physicality.
How hard is that for her to deal with? And an injury happens.
It is tough. Certainly someone who has the ball in her hands as much as Caitlin.
You took the ball out of her hands. You just lied again.
The physicality that she's experiencing for 40 minutes, it causes you to load differently, causes you to explode differently. It causes you to accelerate and decelerate differently. It's not the free flowing movement, that we want to see when it comes to freedom of movement. And I think all of those things, at times, while it might not be one blow or another, over time can contribute to that. That's why freedom of movement is a huge emphasis from our coaches' standpoint when we have conversations at the league level. So can you point it out to one thing or the other? No, but I do think the physicality with which teams are able to play with her is a factor.
Steph, we've talked a lot about the rotations finally.
Yeah.
Well, we thought they were finally going to be kind of solidified, and then obviously now Caitlin's back out. So just over the last 24 hours, how have you guys as a group tried to just collect yourselves to be like, we've done this before, we can do it again? And what
I am just so mad, bro. Like, so much BS, bro. Like, just so much bullshit, bro. Like, she lying, dog, and I just hate a liar. Just lying right to your damn face like that, man. Just damn, dude. I don't know, man. Let's move on to